What symptoms are tied to the vagus nerve? Well, anxiety, autism, ADHD, sensory, gut issues, behavior issues, immune dysfunction, just to name a few. We could probably write a book on the symptoms, but this video is for you moms and dads to understand how it's related to these health struggles, what it is, and what it does. So if you have a child who is struggling with multiple health conditions and you know in your gut there has to be a connection, you're right, it's the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is a cranial nerve, one of 12, but only two that actually leave your cranial vault right near the brainstem on the side of the cervical spine, and it's the connection between our rest, digest, heal, and repair side of our nervous system. It also helps the gut communicate back to the brain with ease. It talks to our immune function, which we know a lot of our immune function is in our gut, and it's also responsible for regulating emotions and mood. If you remember, the sense of what's going on inside, we call our enteric sense, is linked to that brain and injured through inflammation, previous infection, physical and physiological stress. So, moms and dads, the number one thing we see with our little ones is birth injury. We talk about this a lot in our videos and in our office, but when you're looking at intervention that happens during birth, the amount of stress and force that are put on our little ones is not something you would ever do outside of the womb, and very little people and very little practitioners and medical professionals know to look for it and to tell you what to do about it and how to help it, and to know that your child should be resting and digesting with ease. If you remember, our little ones and our infants have to start out by being able to eat, sleep, and poop, largely run by that vagus nerve. Before they start doing their motor function, emotional regulation, brain development, cognition, everything has to funnel upwards if you remember our hierarchy pyramid. Well, and it's also really hard to know what exactly and what stress and how much of it is there on our children without measuring it and how it's impacting our kids today. So one of the most important tests we run in our office is a 3-minute heart rate variability, or HRV. I want to show you a picture of that today. Here is, let me get it right in the center. Here is a picture of a 3-year-old with what we call dysautonomia and vagus nerve disorder. Her little white dot plotted in the orange zone. We're going for the green zone. Green is good. She's running at about 54% battery, so pretty low, just like we would probably wake up in the morning and use a cell phone at 54%, but we wouldn't be using very much of it. And it's the same thing inside of our body and in our kids. And when our battery's running low, so is our mood, so is our ability to self-regulate, so is our ability to be able to communicate and also run our gut and immune and all the other systems that we talked about. She's also running into sympathetic. I know that's too small to see, but on that left-hand side is the sympathetic nervous system. And if you remember, when we're in overdrive and protection, our parasympathetic growth, rest, heal, and digest cannot function the way that we want it to. So moms and dads, if you're the one that's thinking, man, I think my child might be struggling with vagus nerve dysfunction or dysregulation, maybe it happened in the birth, maybe it is a physical stress, maybe it was an emotional stress that happened, maybe there's a chemical stressor that they were introduced to, get it measured, get it checked, leave a question for us, share this video with other moms who are struggling to figure out what their kids are dealing with. We want to help, and we want you to live your best life.